Hey, what's up? It's Wick for Xiaomify, and today we're looking at the all-new Xiaomi Mi Note 10 and the Xiaomi CC9 Pro. I'm really gonna take a deep dive into this camera, and let's see if it's as good as they say it is. Let's go! In the box, you'll find the phone, looking nicely packaged, a USB-C cable, a power adapter with wall plug, some instruction manuals, a SIM card ejector tool, and a basic protective case, which is never my favorite case, but it's nice to see included. The Mi CC9 Pro is the exact same phone as the Mi Note 10. The main difference is that the CC9 Pro is the China mainland release, and the Mi Note 10 is the global model. There's a few small differences in the operating system, like having Google Play Store pre-installed on the Note 10, but in terms of specs, it is the same phone. Let's look at those specs. The Xiaomi Mi CC9 Pro and Mi Note 10 come in three colors. It comes with a Qualcomm 730G processor with Adreno 616 GPU. It comes with either 6 or 8 gigs of RAM and 128 or 256 gigs of storage. The Mi Note 10 only comes as a 6 gig RAM and 128 gig storage model though. On the inside, it's got a massive 5260 mAh battery, which supports 30 watts quick charging. It's 158 by 74 millimeters in size, being little less than 1 centimeter thick, and it weighs in about 208 grams. On top of the phone, it's got an IR blaster, allowing you to set up your phone as a remote control for TVs, sound systems, and DVD players, air conditioners, you name it. On the bottom, it's got a USB-C port for charging and data transfer. It's got the speaker grill and a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is high-res audio certified, which I know a lot of you love to see. On the front, it's got a 6.47-inch curved AMOLED display, which has a 2340 by 1080 FHD resolution. Comes with Corning Gorilla Glass 5. On the front, you'll also find the in-screen fingerprint scanner for unlocking and a front-facing 32-megapixel selfie camera, which is also used for face unlocking. You'll notice that the edges of the phone are rounded off, which Xiaomi calls 3D curved display. I needed a little bit to get used to it, especially when taking photos, and you can see it kind of curves when you, for example, scroll through your apps, but it does feel more immersive and it does look pretty cool. On the sides, it's got a power button, volume rockers, and a dual SIM card slot. And on the back of the phone, you'll find the Penta-camera setup with 5 camera lenses and 2 different flashes, which is probably what you're going to be watching this video for. Here it's got a 108 megapixel main camera with a f1.7 aperture, a 12 megapixel portrait camera with 2x optical zoom that has an aperture of f2, a 20 megapixel 117 degrees ultra wide angle lens with a f2.2 aperture, a 5 megapixel ultra telephoto lens with a f2 aperture as well, and a 2 megapixel macro close-up lens with a f2.4 aperture. So that's a whole lot of lenses. Now, how does the phone work and how do the photos come out? So I invited Susanna over to try out this camera, and I had to have her take some selfies with it. The 32 megapixel selfie camera is really good. The photos come out looking very sharp with lots of detail, pretty good color rendering, and overall really good looking images. I have even taken a selfie with it, which really rarely happens. I did notice there's quite some sharpening going on, but it doesn't look bad at all. Now on to the crazy 5-camera setup. I've taken a bunch of photos of Susanna indoors, and these once again come out looking very, very well. I've had a few images with a little bit of motion blur, but other than that, all the photos come out looking super sharp and really well. Also, the portrait lens looks very good. I feel there's quite a bit more sharpening going on with the portrait lens, probably because it captures less pixels than the main camera, but also these photos look very good. Here's the first time I tried out the 4 main cameras: the ultra wide angle lens, the main lens, the portrait lens, and the telephoto 5x zoom lens. So after that, I went outside in the evening and I took some photos of Susanna outside here in the dark, like this one and this one, using the portrait lens. In a few of these photos, it focused on the background, and I'm really just snapping these photos run and gun style. I'm not paying attention to focus, I'm just snapping them, like how most people would actually use it. But in these pictures right here, you can see that the focus was really good though. These pictures here were all done with just street lights, and in dark it's performing not too bad either. In this picture, you can see how the camera performs with that crazy 108 megapixel sensor. When you zoom in, you can see all the details on the wall in the back very well. Also in the store here, all the details come out really incredibly well. Back indoors, I've taken this photo of the cat, and the details of the hairs are just insane. And the depth of field of the regular lens is actually really nice as well. So the days after, I went out on some photo trips here in Shanghai to try out the camera even more, and I got some really amazing results. Here at the art gallery, I've taken some great photos with the wide-angle lens. I've taken some really cool photos in this mall here around the corner with the regular lens and the wide-angle lens, as well as the 2x zoom lens, and all of them come out looking really good. Taking some photos on the street to check how well the sensor can handle these dynamic photos with tons of details. I've taken some portraits of people on the street and working in their shops, and more portraits, and more shops. And a photo like this here on the street corner, and here, this store. I just kept on shooting with this camera, and I was really excited about it. I got some really good results, and it was really fun shooting with it. The video also comes out looking very well. It's sharp, it's stabilized pretty well, altogether making it a very decent phone to shoot video with as well. Also at night, the video footage came out looking pretty good. I might do a video or a live stream going over the camera and looking at the photos in much more detail. Let me know down here in the comments section if that's something that you'd like to see. Now let's check out the speaker and the microphone. Hey, what's up? It's Wick for Xiaomify, and this is what I sound like recording through the Mi Note 10. Both the microphone and the speaker actually sound pretty good. So now, how's the phone in daily use? Well, when first opening the phone, you'll need to set up a password and optionally a fingerprint for unlocking. The fingerprint seems to need a lot more time before it's recorded, and you need to input your finger a lot more.
Not so easy.
But as far as I've tested it over the last weeks, it does work a lot better, and it hasn't failed me even once to unlock, so it is very stable. The operating system here is the all-new MIUI 11, Xiaomi's Android-based operating system, and quite a lot has been improved and changed in this new version. It's fast and snappy, and I've played games like PUBG with no problem. It kept up with that very well, didn't have any dropping frames, and the playing experience was just fine. Even though MIUI 11 is an upgrade, it's still got the same features that you'd expect from MIUI. It's got the control center when you swipe down from the top, with tons of quick access toggles and your notifications. In full screen mode, it's got the app switcher when you swipe up from the bottom and hold. You can also still access the split screen to run two apps side by side at the same time. And it lets you get out of apps when you quickly swipe up from the bottom without holding. It's got that great 3-finger down swipe for screenshots and all the other features that you might know and love from MIUI. What's new is, for example, a system font, which is now made in English and Chinese with the same font. Probably something you don't really care about, but it's actually a nice detail. More significantly is that it's now got an always-on display. This will show, for example, a clock, even when your phone is locked. You can get this really cool and subtle glow on the sides when receiving a notification. I have to admit, it looks very nice when you're receiving a notification in MIUI 11. The options for the always-on display include text that you can customize, a whole bunch of clocks, and some illustrations, if that's your thing. I personally really love the clock designs, although the always-on display is not very bright, and I think it kind of adjusts to the ambient light, but I would love to see it a little bit brighter actually. It's got a whole bunch of new alarm sounds, ranging from nature sounds with some very well-composed music, very nice to wake up with. Got a screen time management feature that will show you how much time you spend on your phone and in which apps, but there's also a lot of performance and speed improvements under the hood. In use, it's very great, and it feels like a very well-functioning OS, making this phone look and feel just great. So how much does the phone cost? Well, the Mi CC9 Pro came out in China for around 3,100 RMB for the 128 gigs model with 8 gigs of RAM. This is little less than 400 euros, around $440 US. And in Europe, the Mi Note 10 came out for 550 euros in France and Spain and around 600 euros in Italy. The Mi Note 10 is only available with 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage though. So what do I think of the Mi CC9 Pro? Well, first and foremost, I'm really blown away by the camera. The battery life has been outstanding. The new MIUI 11 is performing very well, and even though it's not using a Snapdragon 855, it is a very fast and very reliable phone thus far. The screen looks really well. The in-screen fingerprint scanner is the best that I've had on any of the Xiaomi phones before, and it hasn't let me down even once in the last few weeks. Both the speaker and the microphone sound good, and to me the only thing that I would have loved to see is support for wireless charging, but other than that, it's really hard to find anything negative to say about this phone. So that is about it for the Mi Note 10 and the Mi CC9 Pro. What do you guys think? Is this something you want to pick up? Let me know down here in the comment section what you guys think, and if you want me to do a full-on video about the camera. And leave a little like below this video to show me that you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not done that yet. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see y'all soon. Peace!